On today's menu, a simply delightful recipe I hope you'll love. A delicious and extraordinary mushroom and lentil rice. Lei Ho Ma, that's us going in Cantonese. Welcome to Young Man Cooking, I'm Will Yeung. Join me in this episode as we make something that's simple, delicious, and will become an all-time favorite. As always, if you enjoyed today's recipe, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. Let's begin. I'm using two types of oyster mushrooms today. These are your regular oyster mushrooms and these baby king oyster mushrooms. They will add so much delicious umami, earthiness, and a really beautiful texture as well. We'll be cooking these separately, but the beauty of this recipe is that everything should be finished around the same time. Preheat the oven to 375. Roughly chop the oyster mushrooms. I'm using about a total of 350 grams of mushrooms. Roughly chop the king oyster mushrooms. Keep in mind the mushrooms will shrink significantly in the oven, so it's always a good idea to be generous with the mushrooms. This recipe should make enough for about 5 to 6 portions. Transfer the mushrooms to a mixing bowl. Add a pinch of salt and fresh cracked pepper to taste. Add about a tablespoon of avocado oil. Toss the mushrooms to coat. This is one of my favorite ways to cook mushrooms, as the oven draws out most of the moisture, leaving you with a more concentrated, earthy flavor. Transfer the mushrooms onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Spread the mushrooms out so that they cook evenly. Bake in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. These are brown lentils that I've been soaking overnight. I use about 1 cup of lentils to about 3 cups of water. We're going to rinse this out and just set it aside. Rinse and drain the lentils. One red onion, diced. You can use white onions if that's what you have on hand. It's completely up to you. As you'll see later into the recipe, cooking the mushrooms separately is a fantastic way to yield more portions since it won't be overcrowding the rice and lentils. Finally, chop 2 pieces of garlic. The onions and garlic will create a base flavor and melt into the rice. You can be more generous with the garlic if you like, it's completely up to you. Dice 1 Roma tomato. The tomato will add a little bit of sweetness and acidity to the recipe. 1 cup basmati rice. Rinse 2 to 3 times to get rid of the excess starch, then set aside. Sauté pan. Medium heat. 1 tablespoon avocado oil. 1 teaspoon cumin seeds. 1 teaspoon fennel seeds. Fry the seeds for about 30 seconds and allow it to infuse the oil with amazing aroma. Red onions. Sauté for 3 to 4 minutes and soften up the onions. Garlic. Sauté for a couple of minutes. Add in the tomato. 1 teaspoon salt. Stir and cook for a few minutes. The moisture from the tomatoes will lift everything off the pan and bring all those delicious flavors together. Add in the lentils and the rice. One and a half cups of vegetable stock. Give the pan a good stir and turn the heat up to medium-high. Ensure that the rice is all submerged into the liquid. When the stock begins to bubble, turn the heat to medium-low. Cover and cook the rice for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, turn the heat off and allow the rice to steam further for another 10 minutes. As you can see, the mushrooms shrink quite a bit, and that's precisely why I'm always generous on the mushrooms. Carefully transfer the mushrooms to the rice. Gently mix the rice and lentils together with the mushrooms, combining delicious flavors and amazing texture. Plate generously. This is a fantastic meal prep recipe as it makes quite a good portion. Garnish with some fresh curly parsley and some fresh lemon juice to serve. You can now get down to earth with this delicious recipe with absolute confidence. Alright, let's give this a try. That is such a nice, delightful, comforting dish. I love how rustic and casual and yet inviting it looks with the earthy colors and that pop of green from that fresh parsley. The rice is perfectly cooked, it's fluffy, and the brown lentils are really nice and tender. The roasted mushrooms add that little crispy, little chewy texture, which is a really nice contrast to that soft and fluffy rice. The overall flavor is bold and earthy, and the mushrooms add that bit of umami. There's a little subtle sweetness from the fresh tomato, and of course the cumin and fennel seeds just perfumes that rice with some amazing aroma. That fresh lemon juice just brightens up the dish and lifts everything up, and the garlic and the red onions just melt into that rice. By roasting the mushrooms in the oven, it gives it that little bit of a crispy crust, but it really concentrates the flavor of the mushrooms because it takes a lot of that moisture out. It is just a brilliant way of cooking them. This is a wonderful comfort dish that is easy to put together, basically done in about 30 minutes. And it's a dish that I would definitely enjoy any day of the week. And it's easy, delicious recipes like this that makes it so much fun and exciting to cook and dine in at home. If you love easy, delicious recipes like me, definitely check out or pick up your copy of one of the 4 Young Man cooking cookbooks. There's a print or digital version available in the link in the description box below, or you can visit youngmancooking.com. Of course, as always, if you enjoyed today's recipe, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. If you're not already subscribed with that notification bell clicked, be sure to do so that we can cook together again in the next episode.